Welcome back to Young Entrepreneurs Week. My name's Chris Buckler and I'm fortunate enough to be joined by Niraj. Niraj, thanks for joining us. What got you into the property sector? What attracted you to it?
So my family had always actually been investing in property. So I gradually, whilst I was growing up, I learned a lot from them. And it was quite interesting for me just to see the highs and lows of it, and really enjoyed it actually.
Okay, so when you say investing, were they doing flips, HMOs, what were they?
Well, they were doing a multitude of things. So some of them were flips, they were doing redevelopments as well, HMOs, so I learned a lot from them.
You must have done, right?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So what does your business do now?
So Wraith Estates, what we do now is source properties for investors.
Okay.
And that's to stop people putting money into a bank and earning very little interest. So we try to educate them and push them to invest in property rather than leaving their money in the bank, basically.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that for?
Wraith Estates has been trading for about 2 or 3 years now, so I've been doing it for a while. So I originally started investing myself whilst I was young, gradually became really good at it. A lot of people were asking, what are you doing nowadays? And kind of grew from there and I sort of commercialised the aspect of it.
Okay, perfect. So in 3 years then, you've gone from new company to where you are now.
That's correct.
What advice would you give to any young entrepreneurs, certainly that want to get involved in property?
I say go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it, definitely. Take the risk, it's always worth it. It's always going to be hard work, whatever you do. So I think go for it.
Okay. Remove your limiting beliefs, don't let anything hold you back, all that good stuff.
Correct.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How do you, so if someone's bordering on whether to do something or not, what would be the go, no-go decision? How would you judge that?
Well, always take an informed decision. Don't just kind of jump into the deep end. Look into it. There's a lot of resources online now. You can research it on Facebook. You've got Property Tribes. You've got loads of resources that you can actually go to. So do your research. Ask people questions. You'll see in the property world a lot of people are interested in actually helping each other, which is really good to see. So ask questions and people will help you.
Okay, so if you're going to make the jump, I think what young entrepreneurs have got that the older generation didn't have is, like you say, unlimited resources. Go and make an educated choice, and then if you still feel it's the right thing, jump into it. Okay,
Definitely.
Perfect. Can you tell me about a time you've maybe failed in or failed forward in the last 3 years, or a lesson learned you can pass out to anyone watching?
Definitely. So when it comes to actually renting out properties, which is an aspect of my business that we do as well, when it comes to renting out properties, it's really important to vet people, and I'll suggest vetting people, making sure you know who that person is. Don't just take face value for things. So I think that's quite an important aspect to go for.
Now, as you started when you were 17, you must have made quite a lot of sacrifices to get to where you are now.
I did make a few sacrifices, but I didn't really realise that I was making those sacrifices because it was something that came natural to me.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. So where I feel like I did make sacrifices, I think they were worth it at the end of the day.
Okay, so and how did you not get lured into them though? So you're 17, people are out partying, getting up to no good, having the time of your life. You obviously chose to go down a different route. How did you stop a kind of temptation or going down that route?
Well, I don't really think it was stopping your temptations. I believe that I did obviously enjoy myself as well at the same time. But I guess I just had that focus.
Okay.
And wanted to do something different. And like I said, the property attracted me to it.
Okay.
So it was a natural kind of obsession.
Okay, perfect. So how do you keep yourself accountable then? So when you've got I presume you set your goals at the start of the year and track them. Can you talk to me about that process, how you keep yourself accountable?
Definitely. So in terms of my goals, so I set them month on month. And we always, at the end of the month, we look at whether we've achieved them. What do we actually need to do if we haven't achieved them, what do we actually need to do to make sure we can accomplish them? So I think it is really important to set goals, and keep on reviewing them.
And how much time would you say you spend on the planning or goal setting as opposed to the doing in the business? Because I think that's always a hard challenge when setting something up.
Definitely. I think it's more about baby steps. So setting a goal, doing baby steps, reviewing it, baby steps again until you actually accomplish it. So I'd probably say we spend about, it's difficult to set an exact figure, but probably about a week setting goals and then reviewing them probably like once a week.
Okay, fine. What would the nugget be to succeed?
I would say there's a lot of competition out there. And again, coming back to the internet, you've got a wide variety of resources that you can go to for help. and it's important to make sure you're doing something the correct way, and legally as well. And that's something that some people kind of overlook sometimes. So it's really important to make sure you're doing things correctly and legally in the sourcing process.
So how much time would you say a week you spent on sharpening the sword, if you like, reading, Facebook forums, property tribes, all that good stuff?
Quite a lot. So it is quite a lot. So I'll probably say I spend about 3 hours a day on that.
Yeah.
And that's 7 days a week. But I would definitely say go for it in the property world. You've got a lot of help out there, a lot of resources that you can kind of go to help you out. A lot of people will be willing to help you there as well.
How did you take on the challenge of growing a business and hiring staff?
Well, I think it was important for us to actually grow the business, and it's impossible for one person to do everything. So it kind of came naturally to us that we needed to hire people. Finding the right staff is another challenge in itself. So it was actually finding people that were committed, charismatic, and who actually saw the same vision that you actually had.
Yeah.
So we kind of went down two routes. We went down the apprenticeship route, and we found someone who wanted to learn about property, who was quite young. That was the other thing as well. We wanted someone who was quite young and enthusiastic as well. So we found someone through the apprenticeship route. The other way we found them was generally online marketing, and we did a lot of Facebook marketing as well to recruit someone who we were looking for.
Okay, brilliant. And that, I suppose, leads me on to my last question, which is what advantages do young people, young entrepreneurs have in the property industry?
That's a very good question. It's, I think, energy. Energy is something that stands out, and determination. So it's those combination of both that pushes them through.
Cool. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for some more top tips in our next episode.